Hello and welcome to another Train Sim World 2 video, and this time around we're going to be driving the Class 314 on the Southeastern High Speed route. We're going from Ebbsfleet all the way to, I believe we're going to Gillingham, or Gillingham. I believe that's what we're doing today. To be honest, it was a while since I recorded this, so yeah, I do sometimes forget what we might have been doing, but this time I have some information regarding the roadmap, which came on the 29th of June, which is a Tuesday, of course, 2021. Now, during that roadmap, we had a few new interesting tidbits of information to, grace our ears. We had a few new bits of info. However, I'm just going to very quickly give a brief summary as far as things that we are currently interested in on this channel anyway. Cane Creek, not really interested in purchasing it, but obviously keeping up with all the things on that. Still upcoming, it hasn't been pushed back, it's still on the, I believe it's the next release now. So, if you've been watching along with that, Cane Creek will be coming soon. They did have a preview stream on that I mentioned last episode as well, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, if you're interested, please do. It's on the YouTube channel Train Simulator. And yeah, so there's Cane Creek, but then the Class 313, I'm mumbling, I know. The Class 313 is, it's still in the same place, it's still in production. And I did share a theory as to why it's still in production last time, but I so far haven't really heard anything that confirms or denies anything. So, yeah, I mean, it's still on the way. Don't get me wrong, I mean, they've come this far. I highly doubt they're just going to cancel it outright. So it will be coming at some point, just not really particularly soon. So, yeah, there's that. Now, I did mention that if the 313 looks good to me, I'll be picking it up, as I had planned to originally. But if it doesn't, then obviously I'll have to reconsider. I may not pick it up until it's on sale, if that's the case. I still do want it. Right, I think it will be an interesting addition to the fleet that I currently have in the game, all the different DLCs and add-ons. And I might use it on the East Coast Way quite a bit. But other than that, if it's not much different from the 314, I might hold off on buying it for a while, because the videos on it will feel largely the same, won't they? Let's just be honest. Now, yeah, so there's that. What else is there to talk about? Well, other piece of information, I'm going to start with the lesser interesting piece of information that we had. So this roadmap stream did actually talk about Rush Hour a fair bit, and the thing is, with Rush Hour's release comes a big update to the game. We'll be getting Unreal Engine 4.26, and with that being the case, you will need to update all your DLCs and the base game as well, and that will come in one big chunky download, I believe, and it will be a big download, so be prepared for that. It will come as soon as Rush Hour is released, on the same day. You don't need to buy Rush Hour in order to get this upgrade. This is just an upgrade that's happening across the board. So yeah, it's free, you don't have to pay for it, but it is pretty much required to play the game. I mean, for any upcoming content. They will be moving new stuff into 4.26, and the older stuff they're moving up to 4.26. That includes everything. So the important thing is that all the stuff in the preserve collection will also be brought up to 4.26. So you won't be left behind in the dust. It's not as if they're just going to abandon working on the preserve collection. That will still be happening, which is good news, because I've got quite a few preserve collection things. To be honest, most of the DLC I have for this game is preserve collection, and yeah, they'll be moving that up. They didn't mention they're going to have any problems with doing that. They have no concerns. So it sounds alright, you know. We'll just see what happens. And like I said, you don't need to get the Rush Hour DLC in order to get that upgrade. You're just going to get it regardless. So yeah, if you do have a PC or slower than normal internet, you might want to think about leaving your machine on, you know, your console or your PC, whilst it downloads and updates, and keep checking, keep updating stuff, keep checking that it's actually installed, because the game will still let you play the game even if you haven't updated everything properly. So yeah, do watch out for that. So that'll be nice, you know. Hope it works smoother, I guess. That's all I can really say. What else? Well, there are some interesting goings on with the pause menu, at least with Rush Hour. So this is something that's kind of been confirmed to be happening pretty much. If you do watch the roadmap stream, you'll be able to see an artist rendition of what this is going to look like. But essentially, the pause menu is going to be changing in Train Sim World 2. It's going to be featuring an interesting graph design which shows you the speed limit and gradients also, and also distance to the next stop. So yeah, it's just going to throw a bunch of information at you which it wasn't able to before. Now, I'd say this is an improvement, because it is. We get more information than we did have before, and you will still be able to see all the relevant information, like how much the train weighs, how long it is, what it specifically is, how many cars are in the formation, all of that sort of stuff. So the typical information will still be there, it'll just be presented alongside this new information. So the premise is that you will get a graph that will display distances and also speed limits in whatever units of measurement that you are using in the game. So let's say it's miles per hour and miles, obviously, imperial. So with that being the case, what you'll see, for example on this route, is that you know that the current speed limit is 70 miles an hour. However, this system will let you see 10 miles away, in essence. If you press the pause menu, it would let you see what the speed limit is going to be 10 miles ahead of you, up to 10 miles. And this gives you more awareness of what's going on ahead of you, because before all we could really see was, yeah, you can set it to show you the next speed limit, but not the one after that. And there are some very short distances between speed limits that you might not be expecting, and obviously that makes people panic. It makes people reach for the brake lever and possibly brake far too much or not enough, and maybe they fail the service, maybe they don't, but they're delayed because of that. So with this system you'll be able to see what's ahead 10 miles away, essentially. You'll also see gradients, and gradients are not too much of an issue most of the time in the routes that I have in the game, you know. Biggest gradient I've ever had was about 1.4%, something like that. And, you know, at that rate, yeah, there is quite a lot of resistance from gravity. However, I've never really found gradients to be too much of an issue, but on places where they are, like the Arosa line, for example, where it's mostly gradients, yeah, you're probably going to want some kind of information about that. It shows you the landscape and how it changes. So you can plan ahead, you know, if you're going to be going up a hill, eventually you won't need to slow down as much, you know, won't need to use the brakes. Because, you know, once you do hit that hill, you are going to be slowing down anyway. So, yeah, it helps you plan in accordance with what's coming up ahead, which is a useful feature, especially for new players and even existing ones, you know, who find certain parts of routes difficult or just a bit weird, well, that will hopefully remove a lot of confusion and help people along the learning curve that is Train Sim World, because this is a learning curve. This is not something you're going to pick up overnight. There are some very beginner friendly trains in the game that I would recommend that you give to a beginner to start with, like the 465. I hail the 465 as probably it's my favourite commuter train in the game, and though there are some other trains that are pretty much a close second. It's not that I hate every single other one, it's just that that one is one that I find the best to drive, in my experience. Class 465 has never really let me down. Saying that, 314, 314 so far hasn't let me down a whole lot either. But, yeah, there are some beginner-friendly trains in the game that you could give to someone who is just starting out, and they'll be able to pick it up and play. Reasonably within reason. Within reason. So, with that being the case, the game does have a learning curve, and I do think it's perhaps a little bit more... It's particularly difficult because the tutorials aren't as in-depth as I would like. They seem to be geared towards, okay, get the train moving and now stop it. They don't really say, okay, but how fast does this train brake at this brake pressure? How far away from the station do I need to be before I start applying said brake pressure? How well does it deal with gradients? How well does it deal with emergency stops? If I accidentally hit the emergency brake lever, can I reset it easily? And some of the tutorials go into these details, but most of them don't. And even more so with the AWS system, safety systems, they don't really show you how to activate them, they just sort of are in the tutorials, but when you get to regular gameplay, they're just not there. So you really do have to look around and figure out what to do in places where you shouldn't really have to. And in fairness, I know it's a real simulator, I know it's serious about what it does, however, I just think that some newcomers will find it very, very beneficial to have some great tutorials, particularly ones that are narrated, that have a video guides, written guides, all that stuff, as much as you can possibly do, because, like I said, it's a learning curve. So yeah, there's that. Now, what was the other piece of interesting information? I'm saving it till later because it does bring about a little discussion, and I'm going to be monitoring this discussion as best as I possibly can. Basically, until we get more confirmation. So, in that same roadmap stream from the 29th of June 2021, which can be viewed on the Train Simulator YouTube channel. I believe they also did it on... was it on Twitch as well? Maybe? Yeah, I think it's on Twitch as well at the same time, sort of similar times. So, whichever platform you're comfortable using. But, with that being said, at the timestamp 22:20, right, so 22 minutes and 20 seconds, we got confirmation that the Class 150 will be featured in the West Cornwall local line, aka Penzance to Truro and St Ives, aka Truro. That place name is particularly difficult for me to say. Truro. I keep wanting to say Truro, but it's not, is it? It's Truro. You know where it is. It's in bloody Cornwall. Right, you know what I mean. St Ives and Penzance. Around that way. So, yeah. The Class 150 will be included in that DLC. Now, how do we know this? Well, Natalie pretty much just said, and I'm quoting, the Class 150 will be included. Now, that's important to note, because if you were glad, if you are looking forward to having the Class 150 in the actual DLC, then you got your wish. I mean, I got my wish as well. I wanted it to be in there as well. I feel like it belongs there, and I'm looking forward to driving it. But then it also does raise the question. It does raise a lot more questions than it does answer. We've got the answer. Okay, what's going to be included? Like, what's one thing that'll be included? It's the Class 150. We've got that answer, sorted, confirmed. What we don't have confirmation over are several other things, even to do with the Class 150 itself. For example, what livery will it be in? Will it be in the Great Western Green? Great Western Railway green and yellow? Will it be in an older livery? Will it be, I don't remember. I don't really know what liveries it was in before. I think it might have been in first Great Western. So kind of like a purpley, pinky, magenta kind of colour combination. Or, will it be more modern? We just don't really know. We also don't know. Excuse me. My voice just gave up on itself. We also don't know whether it's the Class 150/1 or the Class 150/2. Why is that important? It's important because they do look different, in the sense that the Class 150-2 has, I don't even know what you call it, the rubbery bits in the middle of the train that connect two carriages together. I think they're called there is a word for them, but I can't remember. But you know what I mean, like the rubbery bits that connect two carriages of a train together. So the Class 150/1 at the front, it doesn't have that, but the Class 150/2 at the front does have that. And that was just, it's a fairly minor thing. I wouldn't mind either. I do prefer the appearance of the Class 150/2, but I don't really have a real favourite other than that. That's the only detail that I would say I prefer better on one than the other. But we'll just have to see. So no livery confirmation, no individual /number confirmation. And that also does raise the question, because Natalie did say, I'm paraphrasing here, but this was the impression that was given. They're just looking at how big the project can be at the moment, and they will update us when they have more information of exactly what locomotives are coming with that. Now, it won't be a secret until like day one of release, because we will know. We will eventually know, when it gets far enough in the planning and development stage, what the locomotives included are going to be. We knew that for Glasgow Cathcart Circle, for example, we knew that the 314 would be there. We also knew for South Eastern High Speed, we knew for Arosa Line, we know for Crane Creek, we know for, what was the other one? It's not Crane Creek, it's the other American one, which I can't remember the name of. Hamburg to Lübeck we knew, because it was explicitly stated on the roadmap at some point, when they'd finalised everything, this locomotive will be coming with this specific DLC. Like, we knew that. So we are just waiting for confirmation now on what the other ones are, and for that they pretty much need to look at their project notes and figure out how big it's going to be. Because, I've been thinking about this. As I've said before, the most likely candidate in my head, other than the Class 150, which has been confirmed, is the Class 43 HST. Which, okay, we've already got in the game, but I meant, an older version of it. So, a lot of people say the Valenta version of it, the older iteration. That makes sense. It's the DLC that's going to take take place between 1990 and 2010, I think is the dates on the era listing code information thing. So that would make sense, and it would be nice to have an older version of the HST, because to be honest, it is one of the original ones that was released with this game. You know, Train Sim World, the original, had Great Western Express, and the Class 43 is a pretty famous locomotive in general. You know, even outside the world of simulation games, in real life it's an incredibly successful thing. It's the fastest diesel train in the world, right? And nobody else is going to claim that title because they're not really making diesel trains anymore that are specifically designed to go that fast, you know? They're just making them for power and for, I was going to say longevity's sake, but, you know, eventually things do break down. So with all that in mind, it raises questions about what else will be included. And personally, what am I hoping for? I'm hoping for at least a Class 43, because I feel like it would be fairly empty without that. Hoping that they can increase the scope a little bit more, because to be fair, with Glasgow Cathcart Circle we only got one locomotive in the pack, and it was $24.99. Now, is $24.99 worth it for Glasgow Cathcart Circle? Honestly, it's up to you. But an even better example, I think, would be Isle of Wight, because Isle of Wight is 8 miles long, the whole route. You get one locomotive in there, and that's £20. Now, looking at it that way, it looks like a pretty poor deal. So, having one route, having a very short route and one locomotive, clearly doesn't look like a good idea. Penzance to Truro and St Ives, I don't think it's really groundbreakingly long. I don't think it's going to be winning any awards for how long it is. But if they can pack some interesting locomotives in there, ideally ones that we haven't really seen before, then I would say that yeah, it would probably be a lot more worth it. Regardless, you know, it would make up for any shortcomings in, let's say, the route length, for example, even though you can work out for yourself how long it is from Penzance to Truro and obviously St Ives. It's a branch. One of them's a branch and the other one's part of the main line, I believe. So, yeah, there's that. But, you know, I'm not an expert on that route, so I don't know what else would be operating around that time on that same line. I'm just glad we got a confirmation for the Class 150, because that to me was a given, and if they didn't do that, I'd be a little bit disappointed, I'll be completely honest. So, yeah, I'm glad we got that confirmation out of the way. So, like they said, when they get more information, they'll update us. Hopefully it will be easy to research, really, because I like it when information is easy to research on these upcoming DLCs, so then I can give you more details in the videos that I make, rather than just say, oh yeah, it's called a class, blah 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 blah, and that's it. You know, get some real meaty facts in there, as opposed to just general rambling. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Hopefully it will be very successful. And everything else that's left, I mean, if you want to go ahead and check out the roadmap, please do. Please do watch the stream as well if you want even more detail than I can possibly give in the length of this video. Got updates on you know, other routes, for example, that might not have been covered in this series or in any channel that you watch. Please do take a look at that, because it really is helpful. Even though there isn't really a lot of information given that's confirmed, there is quite a bit of new stuff that they can talk about during that stream, and to be honest, it is a joy every single time, just because of the excitement of though there are sometimes some disappointments. For example, the 313 getting pushed back, that was a disappointment. I mean, I don't see why they want to do that, but hey, I'm sure they have a reason, and they might make it clear once it is released. So yeah, hoping to find out some more information on that. Who knows, they might have given a reason during that exact stream. I haven't finished it yet, but I just gave you a basic rundown of everything that has been confirmed that we're currently interested in, so that's nice. By we, I mean this channel, you know, me as a host, and you know, the information that I give to you is based on what I've learned and what I find important to remember. So yeah, there's that. Now, I do hope you enjoy my content. If you do, then please do keep watching. You know, I'm going to be still making videos quite often. If there's anything that I can do to make this better, if there's any other ideas that you have that might be interesting to see, please do let me know. I'm thinking about doing a bunch of things to my YouTube channel to see what works and what doesn't. However, for right now, just Train Sim World 2 content, and hopefully it's all going to be of relatively good quality. I'll be releasing no commentary videos on quite a lot of different things, so yeah, look forward to those if you enjoy them. As always, please do stay safe. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. Cases are actually going up in the UK with the Indian variant, so please do make sure that you take good care of yourself. Get vaccinated if you can, because it really is a weight off your shoulders. It will severely reduce the chances of you contracting the virus, and also it will probably get us closer and closer to the end of lockdown, you know, with all these restrictions easing and all the rest of it. I think there's even talks about fully vaccinated people being allowed to go on holiday without quarantining in other countries. So yeah, that's great. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please do watch some more stuff. Keep supporting things, you know, just watching supports me. I don't have to like, don't have to subscribe, just, you know, do whatever you feel like doing. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Have a great day.